YouTube, this is JJ714 coming back at you. What I decided to do is try to see if I can at least begin the process of how I do the lasagna, because I know that even though I told you that the recipe is on the back of the box, there are times that some people need to actually see how you do something. I'm one of those people that God has gifted to be very detailed per se. So I don't like to take it by chance, because somebody may see a dish and they'll say, oh, well, I don't know if I can make that. But I wanted to try to at least begin this process online. I might not be able to do everything, because that means I'll be working with one hand because I have to hold my iPad with the other. But I'm going to at least try to begin it, and afterwards, if I can't, at least get started with it, I'll come back and talk you through. But one of the first things you want to do is you start out with your eggs. I have 2 eggs here, and you're going to basically just beat them. Now, if you're a person, you're concerned about cholesterol, you can get egg substitute, or if you want, take the yolk out and just use egg white. But I would suggest, if you just use the egg white, that you will basically use about 3, if you're using like large or extra large eggs, or 4 to make sure you get enough. Okay, so you beat the egg. Then what you're going to do is that you're going to add in the I'm sorry. You're going to add in the ricotta cheese. So like I said, I'm working with one hand here, so let's see how I can do this. I might have to put my iPad down and put it in here. I'm trying to squeeze it out. Here, it's slowly coming. Okay, now this is the ricotta cheese can be, because you keep it in the refrigerator. What I like to do is I like to mash it in to the eggs. And then what you're also going to add in to your mixture, you're going to add your 2 cups of the cheese, mozzarella cheese, and I've already measured out 2 cups. And you're also going to add in your 1/2 cup or 2 ounces or your Parmesan cheese. So it says to use a medium-sized bowl, but I like to use a larger bowl, because you got a lot that you got to mix right here, and I just don't like stuff popping out of my bowl. So what you do is you blend it, and I'm gonna set this down. The only bad thing, when I set it down, you're not gonna be able to see me. So let me see if I can mix it as well as I can with one hand. I may have to press the bowl against me a little bit. I'm going to set it down for 1 quick minute, and then I'll pick it back up. I'll try to see if I can turn the camera so you can see what I'm doing here. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'll go ahead and mix it up right quick. Okay, so it's mixed up now to where I want it. You're going to get somewhat of a, trying to get it out of the light so much, so you can see the color. But this is what you have. This is one of your main mixes. Now the next thing that you're going to do, you're going to use 16 of the lasagna sheets, which is the no-bake lasagna. So you're going to actually use 16. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do something a little bit different here, because you're going to spray your pan. I've already sprayed my dish with the Pam, see if I can, with some Pam no sticking spray, and this has canola oil in it. And one of the first things you're supposed to do is you're going to make 3 layers if possible. If you're using a 2-inch deep pan. And what you'll do first is you're going to spoon half of the jar of sauce at the bottom. So you take this jar of marinara and you're just going to pour half of a jar. Now I tend not to pour a lot at the bottom because you can just spread it out at the bottom of your dish. I'm trying to turn it so you can see my dish. Now, this is where I'm going to do something a little different. My family, they love cheese, and I do too. What I do, and you know, don't do this, but I just do it. I had some extra sharp cheddar cheese, so I'm going to take some of that, and I'm going to sprinkle it on top of my sauce right here. Underneath my first layer of, but you don't do this. This is just what I'm doing. Okay, now what you're going to do after you put the half of a jar of the marinara sauce in, you're going to take 1 cup, you're going to layer with 4 sheets. So you take 4 of the sheets out. And you're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you have a longer dish, that's fine. You don't have to have a longer dish. I normally layer mine like this because what's going to happen when the lasagna bakes, the noodles are going to expand. If you want, you can actually move them closer to the middle, but I like to leave a little gap in between because I know it's going to spread, and I like to also have some of the noodles to the edge if possible. So that's how I do mine. If you have a larger dish where you can just layer them, you can also turn them sideways, but I like to do it the long way. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take, after you layer the 4 of the lasagna sheets, then you're going to take half of your ricotta mixture, and you're going to basically put it here. And you have to spread. Now this part can be a little aggravating because it's a little thick, and you're trying to make sure you spread it over your pasta, especially on top of the pasta. You don't have to worry about really being neat. I'm reformed perfectionist, so my husband last night, I was talking about I had warmed up leftover dinner for us from Sunday, that I made a pot roast, and I made some more cabbage and some more of the sweet potato souffle and some rice and some cornbread, since I was going out to our Christmas dinner that we had for the Color Me Organized Women. And I wanted to make sure that my family had a good meal as well, even though I wasn't going to be home. And so when I was warming it up yesterday, I normally warm it up on low heat, but I'll let it sit for a minute. And in the process of me going to pick my husband up from the, he takes an express bus downtown, and I go pick him up at a parking lot. And so I had everything, keeping it warm, but my cornbread got a little, I thought it got a little too overwarmed. It cooked a little bit more, and I wasn't happy because it was crisp. But my husband was like, oh, the dinner is great. Don't complain. Stop. There's no such thing as a perfect dinner. Well, I disagree. I always believe that if you do your best with whatever you do, in God's sight, it's perfect. So I just like to serve good food to my family, to company, to friends. You know, I like to do my best. So, okay, so this is after I do the first layer. Try to see if I can step back so you can see it a little bit. And next, what you do is you're going to add the remaining sauce from the first jar. Oh, I'm sorry, I was supposed to put the meat on here. And then I got to do something else too. So add meat. Again, I apologize. I know I'm all over the place right here, but I'm just trying to let you see what I'm doing and how I do it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some spinach. Now normally what I would do is I would do a section with just the spinach by itself. But because I think I'm only going to do and I'm only going to put this spinach at this level. I'm not going to put it on the next level, because that's the trick when you're trying to add some vegetables in. You just sort of, you know, slick it in. But my family, they love spinach. They do. Like I said, I'm using frozen spinach. but you're more than welcome. You can use fresh spinach. I just think it's easier for me to add frozen spinach. And then what I'm going to do now is put some more sauce on the top of this. That's the remaining of the first sauce. So all of this jar is gone. This jar is gone. And I might actually have to use some of the second jar, but we'll see how it works since I put the... And like I said, this doesn't have to be perfect, because once everything starts cooking, you're going to have what you need. All the ingredients are going to blend in really, really good. And it will be a great, great dish. So then your next step, after you finish this step, and I'm just going to tell you because I'm actually going to have to stop this video until I get everything finished, and then I'll come back and let you see my end results, because it's just really difficult for me to try to do it with one hand. As much as I love to be able to just sit here and record and show you everything, it's just not that simple. So this is what the first, basically my first layer looks like. See if I can bring it in for you. And let me take it out a little bit so you can see it a little bit more. Now your next step, what you're going to do after you you're going to add another cup of the mozzarella. Then you're going to layer it with 4 sheets. And then you'll add the remaining ricotta mixture and brown meat in half of the second jar of sauce. So you'll take the remaining cheese, which is what's left in your bag, and you're gonna put this here. I'm sorry, you're going to add 1 cup, not 2. So just put 1 cup because you need 1 cup. You should have 2 cups left in your bag, and you just want to add 1 cup to here. Okay, and you add that. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take 4 layer sheets. Again, 1, and I do 2, and then you do 3, and then you do 4 for the sheets. And then you're going to add the remaining ricotta mixture and brown meat in half of the second jar. So, okay. And what I like to do, since, you know, the top is what people see the most, I tend to, even though it tells you to put half of the ricotta at the bottom, I may put a little less than half because I want most of it to be the top layer, because again, like I said, once everything cooks up, it's going to cook up really, really good. So you know, you do it how you like. I just have done this recipe a few times, and I just tend to like to do it this way for, you know, to make everything fare very well. And it looks like I will try to go ahead and finish this because I'm almost finished anyway. So I'm going to see if I can try to finish this on camera. I don't tend to not like a mess, so I normally clean as I go when I'm preparing a dish. And make sure you try to, at least spread it so that it's, consistent and everything's covered. Again, don't worry about being perfect, because the dish in itself is going to be excellent. Okay, so that was all my ricotta. As you can see, the bowl is empty, so I'm going to move this over here. Then what you'll do is add your brown meat, the rest of it. Now, like I said, I'm not going to put any more of the spinach on this particular area because I think I got enough spinach in here. But who knows, I might add a little bit more, just a little bit, so that it will even out at the top. And I might just go ahead and fix some vegetables because I wasn't going to add any vegetables since I was doing the spinach in here, but I might just go ahead and do maybe some green beans or field peas or something like that. And that's neat. And then what you do after you put that, you add some of the second, you add half of the second jar of the sauce. I think I did a little bit more than half, so I need to take a little bit off. Make sure I have enough at the top.